Yep. Ugh. Oh, my cat is meowing very loudly. No. So it's gonna say be right back. And that is just so I can copy the chat and paste the chat. So if people wanted to chat across platforms, they can do that during the starting soon screen stuff and things. So it's scheduled for, I am scheduled to go live at 9, so I'm I'm just gonna strangle my animals. Not really. Don't call anyone. Oh, poor connection. What is going? Oh, that's what's going on. Pause. Sync. I was syncing to a cloud drive. Let's see if my connection improves now that I've paused. No, I said pause. It's not pausing. All right, how do I do this? Yeah, I got rid of all of those files. All right, I am going to quit Mountain Duck for now. Yep, I understand that my connection will be closed. Hey, look at that. Just like that, my connection is now good. Cool. Okay. I'm glad I caught that before the official start of the stream. Today I have my microphone. Instead of using my MacBook microphone, I have my Elgato pseudo professional mic plugged in, and that makes it really easy to mute just by tapping the microphone. I can mute everywhere. Now, there is a reason that I would be interested in a global mute. So I've been hosting, well, I hosted my first study group in Vale's Art Castle last Friday, and it has been requested that I start recording those, but there's no good way to mute my mic while in that call and record and mute the recording at the same time. So I can mute myself in the call, like just in the call, but if I were recording with OBS while I was in the call, then it wouldn't work, and blah blah blah. Oh, that's another issue I didn't think of. Maybe it won't, I don't know. So sometimes the microphone does weird, not smart things while I'm recording and in a call. I don't know. It's weird. I don't even know if anyone's here. Anyone here yet? I know how to check. I got no one on YouTube yet. That's fine. That's fine. Still got 2 minutes before I'm supposed to even start. And let's check Twitch. Anyone here on Twitch? Nope. That's fine too. Just says stream starting soon. Ooh, what's this message in Twitch? Oh, nothing. Okay. I don't know what whispers are in Twitch. Does that make me old? Uh-oh. I think we may have a viewer. Hello, viewer. Screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and switch on over. Whoosh. All right. And oh, that's an old one. All right. Let's switch sources. Cancel. Wrong thing. Gesture properties. Window capture of gesture drawing. Okay, there we go. Boom. We got one on Twitch and one on YouTube. Hello, YouTube and Twitch people. How are you on this fine Tuesday morning? Ready to draw? Switch. Is starting soon. Did I mess up? No, I didn't mess up. Okay. It's just YouTube being weird. So I am trying something new with my gesture drawing. I'm using a ballpoint pen inspired brush and trying to replicate that as faithfully as possible. So I'm not using undo or an eraser in an effort to really train my eye and my hand to pay closer attention to what it is I'm drawing. And it is challenging. It also means I'm leaving my mistakes on the canvas. It makes things more challenging if you're not erasing anything. Like that's a mess that you can't really tell what's going on, and that's okay. Like I said, leaving my mistakes on the canvas. So what's everyone up to on this Tuesday? Anything? Oh, let's undo that color fill. Hmm. I will say that approaching gestures this way without an eraser or undo has really slowed my gestures down. I'm definitely not as confident if I don't feel like I can correct a mistake. I just have to leave mistakes. So I try to make fewer mistakes, and it's actually slowing me down. Oh my god. Sorry, I just got a notification from my wife. She is cracking me up lately. Oh god. I just had like a little hiccup while I was trying to take a drink of coffee. I think I almost drowned myself in coffee. Holy crap. Alright. What happened? No, my wife has turned into a weird connector in the local homesteading community, especially for birds. So she's like introducing people who want birds to each other, or like to people who are selling those birds. Yeah, no. So if I decide to loosen up with my gesture, I guess I get cooler shapes. But my accuracy definitely suffers for it. So what's the balance? I haven't figured that out yet. But hopefully that's something I can figure out today. No eraser. No, no eraser. Leave my mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. I try to balance gesture and accuracy. I end up in this weird, unfinished, not flowing state. So, what to do? I don't know. This is just a warm up anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter that much. I am literally just trying to warm up before I start doing something else. So, finding a balance is not important right now. This is just getting my brain into gesture drawing or loose, flowy. Actually, it's a very valid point. I'm not aiming for accuracy right now. I am warming up and having fun. So why am I concerned so much about accuracy? I shouldn't be. So let's just do the fun part and draw. If I'm warming up, let's treat it like a warm-up, not like something serious. Why did it take me so long to come to that conclusion? I don't know. Should I do a face drawing warm-up? Why not? It's a warm-up after all. And am I leaving my mistakes? I sure am. WTF LOL. Yeah, that's about all I can say about that. Scribble it out? Nah, leave it. Don't really understand that. Well, what is that? So, this is from TrueRef, actually. Okay. I love TrueRef. These hand props are just freaking weird to me, though. Like, I might not use this pack anymore. Just because there's another pack with the hands. With a male model. Which, other than the hands prop thing that they're using, I really enjoy that pack. Probably both packs, if I'm being honest. But the hands thing is just really distracting to me. Sorry, I am checking messages from the missus. One of her new friends is buying some emus for like $600, which is insanity. I'm glad that we don't have any yet. Yet being the operative word there. My wife can't walk into a Tractor Supply without coming out with something that has a pulse. But it is what it is. What it is. I'm going to do a couple more gestures, and then I'm going to jump into some world building. The stuff I'm really excited about. Man, I just discovered the joy of wikis. So I'll do these two, and then so this one and the next pose, and then we will jump into world building. But wikis are flipping crazy resources. Or concept art. And I had no freaking idea. So I discovered the League of Legends wiki, and it has so much gold in it for environment design that I was completely unaware of. Like I've had a lot of inspiration from the arcane concept art. But I hadn't really looked for League of Legends concept art outside of Creative Uncut, which is another phenomenal resource for concept art. And I highly recommend everyone check that out if they're into concept art and using other IPs as reference and inspiration for their own material, as I am. Um, all right, good enough. Always with the things. Go away. Ugh. But yeah, Creative Uncut, awesome. Even better though, wikis. The wiki uh for the League of Legends is just out of this world. And then art books, of course, really great for collecting reference material for uh, really interesting properties that might be somehow related to yours in genre. Highly recommend art books. So I've got a ton of Final Fantasy and Lord of the Rings art books. Those are like my two favorite properties. And yeah. Yeah. Oh, something super exciting is happening. Um, one of my clients that I was tattooing was telling me about it actually because she is currently reading The Wheel of Time and she's on the last book. And she was like, I watched the first episode of the Amazon series and I just couldn't. I'm like, that's fair. The way I always thought of it was just like it's another turning of the wheel. So it's just a different telling of a very similar story, but it allows for some discrepancies between the source material and this new property. And she was like, well, I might give it a chance. I'm like, oh yeah, definitely don't do that. It ends up being kind of horrible and it deviates way too much, especially the last episode. You're like, what? No. And then they canceled it. So there's really no point in picking it up now, which is unfortunate. But she was telling me that they are now doing an animated adaptation of Wheel of Time. And the producer of Arcane is the one that is producing the Wheel of Time animated series. Holy crap. If they get Studio Fortiche involved with Arcane, or I'm sorry, with Wheel of Time, I am going to just... It's not appropriate to say on a live stream. Like that would be beyond amazing. Let's see, 9:30. I think I might actually do a film still study. So the last two that I did while I was hosting a group, there was a 30-minute study from Blade, and then a 1-hour study from True Grit. The 30-minute study from Blade, I actually had more time painting than the 1-hour one, because I was hosting this study group, so I had the timer going, and everyone else was also painting. So I had to leave the timer running, but my kids decided that they needed everything under the sun, like food and baths and everything else, while I was streaming or hosting this workshop. So I only got like 20 minutes of painting in on that one, and I got 30 minutes of painting in on this one, but this one was technically 1 hour. Oh. All right. So I am just going to pop open Refern here. Or Refern, Refern, I don't know. My frame studies folder, and we're just gonna scroll and click. Copy and paste. So I want to do this frame from Sandman. So here is how I have been doing these frame studies, now that I've got a workflow for it. So group them, and then I've got 2 copies of the frame. Take one down here, and that's my reference frame. This is the one that I'm going to be painting on. Only reason I'm doing it like this is so that I have the correct aspect ratio, and I don't feel like guesstimating it. But really, oh, I picked the wrong one. Wait a second. All right, unalpha lock. Alpha lock. I don't want anything there that can be seen as part of the frame. So I just alpha lock it and then paint over the whole thing. So I've got this blank canvas that is the same aspect ratio as this canvas. The reason I'm doing it this way is because last time I tried to use a monitor that did not have the same color profile as my iPad, so that just didn't work. But now I turn on my reference layer and zoom in on my reference here. So I have a very clear one-to-one, well, not one-to-one, I have a very clear reference on my screen. I can still, hey, what's up, Marcelo? So I can still look up at my monitor that does not have the correct colors and see the composition, but I can look at my actual iPad screen and make sure that my color selection is pretty freaking close. So this is like the setup. I've got same aspect ratio. I've got my reference. It's all on the same canvas. Now I can paint. So what I've been doing is actually using the marker, if I can find it. It's not in my recent brushes anymore. So Sketchbook Marker 2 from the Sketchbook Experience by Monero Brushes. So this is an opaque marker. It's not a layering marker, so you can still glaze with opacity controls, but you can't. Sorry, my wife is texting. But you can't. That wasn't my wife texting. That was a spammer texting. Lost my train of thought completely, thanks to an Amazon scammer. Oh, so it has. So I'll move this over here. Maybe. There we go. So it has. It's an opaque brush. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. So I've got my background plopped in. Now I'm just going to start painting what looks like the bigger shapes. So I'm squinting and looking, and I think I'm going to go ahead and start with my yellows. We got this warm focal point right towards the center. Switch back to classic. So I'll saturate it, warm it up a little bit. Crazy desaturate it. And the goal is to just put down a mark at a time. Then we've got some like bluish greens that are still pretty bright, but not as bright. It's almost as tall, but not quite. This one's a little shorter. How do I come up with project ideas? That is actually a really awesome question. Someone else texted. That might have been my wife. So let me know how Harper. Oh yeah. So our daughter is sick right now. Mrs. is checking up on her. Actually, that was way more blue. So project ideas, I mostly just focus on things that I want to see in the world, if that makes sense. She just had a fever and a headache last night, which is odd for a small child to have a headache. I'm also now realizing that I did this in the wrong order. So we've got a pretty big vignette here. Fortunately, I've got my color history, so I can make that work. But really, I need to do this. And it's actually sort of a blue hue. Just sort of guessing here. Keep the shadows looking like this. Yeah, that's better. But she had a fever and a headache, and she was nauseous last night, and we're just trying to make sure that trying to make sure that she feels better today, hopefully. So let's go back to this. I'll zoom out, actually. Zoom out, shrink it down. And bump the opacity back up to what it's supposed to be. She's a tough little butthead, so I'm sure she's fine. And she's got a nurse for a mommy, so she's definitely getting kind of spoiled. But in terms of project ideas, I've had this. Yeah, mom's a nurse. She's really awesome nurse. Like super nurse. Really well. She's doing awesome with her career, actually. I'm gonna state a caveat there. She's working all the time, so she is both doing awesome and getting overworked, which is kind of crappy. But paychecks are good. It's not really what I want. It's not what she wants either. So she's taking a good vacation next month, and I can't wait to have her home for a little bit. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. No, I'll admit, having her career be the primary source of income for our family has been really nice. Wait, where we go? Sketchbook. Like that has taken a crazy amount of pressure off of me. But part of the problem with her making crazy good money is that she likes to spend it on farm animals. So I am more of a farmer now than an artist because I don't have an option not to be. Yeah. Oh yeah, I I really do. I'm very grateful. No chickens. We don't have any chickens. We have lots of ducks, turkeys, and dead quail. Yeah, we've got a bunch of live quail too. We tried to save some quail and some turkey that didn't make it, unfortunately. Oh, we have goats. Yeah, we've got the goats. Goats were one of the first things. So normally I try to work from background to foreground. I did not do that so well this time. Art, farming, and tattooing. That's my life, man. Which I guess tattooing I guess falls under art, but one is career, the other is I don't want to say hobby because I'm definitely more than a hobby artist. I am slowly working my way towards hopefully doing something pretty professional with it. Professional-ish. We'll just say professional-ish. Oh, and tabletop RPGs. I love D&D. Well, not specifically D&D. I'm actually kind of disappointed in what Hasbro's done to the D&D property. Um, except for the movie. That's an interesting thing. Thanks, Cassie. Just doing a quick 30-minute film study of this frame from The Sandman, which Neil Gaiman's sort of a problematic character right now. Really disappointed in Neil Gaiman because I would have previously called him one of my hero peoples. Not so much anymore. Well, lately I've been really interested in a game called Dragonbane, which is like D&D, but faster paced. And it has skill progression, more like White Wolf games, so... Sorry, we're getting into super nerd territory. Whoa, no. We're getting into super nerd territory here, but essentially, in D&D, you level up. Like, you end up with hit points and skill progression and lots of things to, yeah. But lots of things that make your character way stronger, and eventually you get to this point where you're almost unkillable, but it's also like really bogged down. Like you could spend 20 minutes deciding on one thing to do because you just have so many possibilities. So it gets bogged down, super slow, and that really kills the fun. So, but Dragonbane is a little bit different. So you do get more skills as you play, but you don't level up. Your character grows, if that makes sense. So instead of ending up with like 500 or 5,000 hit points, where the lowliest commoner could never, ever kill you, right? You end up with like you have basically static health. So no matter how far you get in the game, something can kill you. But you're also not locked into super rigid classes like D&D. So you can grow your character basically any direction you would want to take your character. And that, to me, is super cool. The whole ethos of that game is called Mirth and Mayhem. So it's super fast paced. Like the whole goal is to like make snap decisions, but also you don't want to do stupid things because you could die if you do stupid things. Cassie, where are you tuning in from? Like, how'd you find the stream? Sorry, my daughter's yelling. 1 second. Oh, what's up? Oh, would you rather me refer to you in the stream as Hearth or Cassie? Ugh. Sorry, I don't get along with my mother-in-law. To be fair, neither does my wife. Usually. That's really got more of a green tint to it, so I'm gonna retint all of this with some green. Get a little bit of yellow towards the center. Will do. Dropping a few of these little god rays in there. So I just took a little bit of a oh hell yeah. So for the god rays, I just did a layer of this spray paint, dropped the opacity a lot, and then erased away what I don't want to be there. So I can bump the contrast where I want to bump the contrast, but I can also tone it back a lot where I want to tone it back. All right, 5 minutes left. I think I can finally add in the Sandman. Come on, dream. That's clever too. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. All right. One minute. Oh, it's not finished yet. We've got some shadow to drop in down here. Integrate him into the scene a little bit better. Oh, 10 a.m. All right. There we go. That's it. That's the stuff. Let's clip that, merge it down. Not too bad. Not too bad. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at Yeah, I don't need the reference image anymore. All right, let's turn that off. Goodbye, reference. Get rid of the alpha lock. And today is the 28th. Thank you. So this is a really interesting design because, well, composition. So typically a symmetrical composition with a centered subject like this, it's to indicate some sort of stability, to indicate that something is balanced and powerful. But this is in the middle of all of the chaos of Dream returning to the dreaming where everything has fallen apart without him. So maybe this is like this is to indicate that when Dream returns, it provides stability. Like, that's like story-wise, that's the best I can do. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. No, I do feel like I'm getting a bit better at these, and I feel like my ability with paint is improving. Still a very linear artist. Let's see, I'm gonna turn my drawing guides off so that I get a better screenshot. And I'll drop this into the Discord. That is very true. I mean, it's not a race. There's no finish line. moving along, however long it takes. Monday. It is not. It is Tuesday. I do streams randomly, but every Tuesday. I don't think it. Let's see, 12. I don't think it's Monday anywhere in the world right now. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Not every Saturday. I do streams opportunistically through the week, uh, but every Tuesday, unless I have a doctor's appointment or one of my kids has a doctor's appointment. So in the Philippines, it's ahead. Like they're further ahead than U.S. Eastern Time Zone. So it would be getting closer to Wednesday. I think it's like 10, not quite 10 p.m. in the Philippines, parts of Europe. America. Congratulations, I think. Maybe. I am still here. I'm just switching frames really quick. Switching sketchbooks, I guess. Okay. So I've been doing these little environment studies, and with oh, you thought you used to live in the Philippines. Why'd you come back? Um, yeah, really random. Uh, so I've been doing these little environment sketches for the world building project thing that Namera's also doing. Like she's way ahead of me. I am on week 2, and I'm in week 3 of week 2. um, but this is what I've got so far. Just little sketches and concepts and stuff. And today, I would like to try to get another 5 little sketches done, and then one values sketch done, and then finish up this leg of the project tomorrow. So Marcelo, actually, you were asking earlier how I came up with ideas. Right now, I'm going through 2 world building boot camps. One of them is the Valhalla for Artists boot camp, hosted by Misha Oplev. If I'm pronouncing his last name right, I know I'm pronouncing his first name right. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his last name right, but it's the Valhalla for Artists Discord. And then Namera took a world building workshop from an artist she really admires, and she's been sharing the assignments from that workshop, and I've been working through the assignments. Like, I don't have access to that training material, but between Valhalla and Namera's bootcamp, we're making progress. So I'm combining the assignments, and we're building a world. So, like, yeah, lots of character concepts, and yeah, just making sure I don't go too far back. Like, I've been trying to storyboard and do character silhouettes and all of that fun stuff. Eventually it'll turn into a comic, but I'm doing the world building first. That way I have a really solid foundation. And honestly, if I do the world building well enough, ooh, a game. That sounds fun. But if I do the world building development enough in advance of the comic book stuff, then the hope and the dream is that by the end of this very long solo journey, I'll have like a whole ass IP ready to go. And this is like a long-term thing. I'm not going to tell you what order to do things in, Hearth. You do you. I like this order. Like, looking back at how Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and all of these people who built something that felt very real, not realistic, but felt real. They started with in-depth world building. So where did I start? I started by looking for worlds that I enjoyed consuming. So take it easy, Hearth. Thanks for tuning in. So I started by, yeah. I started by looking at all of the stuff that I enjoyed consuming. So for me, it was Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy XII, the Legend of Zelda, like the Breath of the Wild iteration of Zelda. Sorry, blanking. Like Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere stuff, The Wheel of Time, League of Legends. Like, I never really got into League of Legends before Arcane. So on the vibe coder, yes and no. They were part of the same writing cohort thing, so they fed off of each other's ideas a lot. Yeah. Like, they argued a lot, and they both benefited from those arguments. But yeah, Tolkien was, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom never really lived up to Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. Breath of the Wild was just chef's kiss. It was a wonderful game all around. Um, but I started with my inspirations, and then I was thinking of characters that I would like to put into a story like that. So, started with inspiration, then I built characters loosely based off of Firefly characters. So Joss Whedon's Firefly, also a problematic character himself, but yeah. Um, but I was like, what if? So that's the big question. Is like, what if you did this but this? That's the essence and the beginning of world building. So my what if was like, what if these two characters were placed in a setting like this, and blah, and take it from there. So that was the beginning. So I started with characters, and then I started with inspiration, then built a few characters, and then realized that the story was very hollow without a fully fleshed out world. So then I took a step back and started building a world for those characters based on a whole lot of different lore and different properties. A lot of it, I like anytime I have an idea, usually from listening to podcasts. Like I listen to the Lore podcast with Aaron Mankey. Um, like anytime some cool idea pops into my head from listening to folklore, I'll write it down and be like, well, if I did like this fits. If it fits, I add it. If it doesn't fit, I don't add it. Um, but that's how I've gotten to where I am now. Like I wanted different ancestries for this world that I'm building. So they're all loosely based off of the idea of Breath of the Wild ancestries. So you've got like elemental affinities for each of these races, and I made one for each. Culturally, I'm like pulling from fantasy culture, but also real world cultures, and trying to do real world research into a really broad array of different religious and philosophical cultures. So it's really interesting that I'm like picking up Hindu texts and Buddhist texts and Taoist texts and just learning a lot about a uh, whole lot of different religions and philosophies and cultures, even neo-pagan stuff. It's fun. But yeah, just digging into all of those different things. On that note, I really do need to run and use the restroom really quick, so I am actually gonna be right back. Yeah. And I'm back. Alright. So, next thing to do today, a little bit of environment sketching. So, I'm not sure what environments to sketch today. Did some tree homes. This is a Piran city interior. Here's the Piran volcano exterior with the terraces. Okay. I want to do like the Gleamrot Library. Not eraser. That doesn't do me any good. And I'm going to borrow from the frame that I just painted because the inspiration's already there. Sorry, I've got this ballpoint pen brush, and I just freaking love it. I do on occasion, so I don't know about outside. I don't like sitting in the sun. It irritates the ever living crap out of me to be like out in the sun with glare off of my paper or screen or whatever. But I do like interior urban sketching, so I'll go to coffee shops or sketch during my kids' karate class or whatever. Um, So next I'm going to pull up my environment references folder because I have one of those. Doo-doo-doo. And after discovering the League of Legends wiki, I'm going to have fun using a lot of those references for lots and lots and lots of world building projects. So one reference that I really enjoyed was, I don't even know where this one's from. It's a ruined fortress from the League of Legends wiki. So inspired by, but not a copy of, is what I'm aiming to do in most of these situations. Well, all of these situations. I don't want to take anything from these properties but I do want to like be freely inspired by them. Just blocking in some rough perspective here. So the idea is that this tower is built into a mountain, but the tower itself is taller than any of the mountains around it. Even the tower that it's built, or even the mountain that it's built into. And then there's a city at the base. This is one that I'd had planned out for quite some time, so like seeing a reference image from another property that just fit it so well. I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna borrow that one. Let's shuffle it. Ooh, I actually have some references that I haven't dropped in here yet. Give me just a sec. All right, so my environments folder is just a mixed bag of stuff from video game concept art, movie concept art, photography of really trippy places around Earth, whether that's in a city or landscape or wherever else. I don't really have many interiors. Should probably look for more of those. Yeah, I really wanted to do something with these. So there's this place. Where? Where is this place? Oh, yeah, I don't have a good source for it. So I have this app called Refern or Refern, spelled as such. Um, but it's like a self-hosted Pinterest and it's got a web clipper. So like it's just like having my own version of Pinterest, except I have to find my own images. um, but I love it. It lets me collect images from everywhere, and yeah, I've managed to find some really cool shots on Reddit, like the Earth porn and city porn Reddit channels. Funny enough, no adult content in either of those. It's just the name they've decided to use. It's the Horizon. Um, but yeah, I found this image of these cliffs that go out over the ocean. They've got a really interesting shape, but behind those cliffs, there's a lake above the ocean, like pretty significantly above the ocean. Uh, and it's beautiful. So what I want to do is actually build some houses or some towers on this lake over the ocean. Like watchtowers for, say, a coastal village over here. And thou shalt always establish scale. This one up a little. Move that one back. That way scale seems appropriate. Maybe do some of these towers in the background, way back there. Yeah, that looks fun. Need to let my wife know that my daughter's still sleeping. Ugh. She's been sleeping a while. I'm actually a little concerned. So, actually, I don't know how many people are watching right now. Let me check. Do, 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 do. Well, I know I've got at least one person on YouTube and at least one person on Twitch. So, people on YouTube and Twitch, I am in need of some assistance with hair design. So, I've got these awesome resources for fashion, so costume design and character design. I have these awesome resources for landscapes. I have these awesome resources for cities and just general concept art. I can't find anything that isn't overrun with AI crap or hair. Like, if you use Pinterest to look for hair designs, you get AI crap. If you use Cosmos to look for hair designs, you get AI crap. If you use Google to look for hair designs, you get AI crap. Where can you find reliable, like, clean, not AI crap images for hair? Because I'm at a loss. Something similar to Vogue's Runway Archive would be awesome if it were hair, but I can't find anything. Like, do stylists have some sort of library online that they can like browse different cuts and styles and colors? Like, I need something. I need something. Oh, all right. So if you know, drop into the comments somewhere, please. And thank you. All right. I got to get through 2 more environment designs today. And then I have to go file paperwork because I'm an adult. Ooh, all right. No, this one needs to be a landscape composition. What? I'll be right back. I need to cook for my children's. And we're back. Dog got locked up and I don't know why. Alright, what's next? What is next? Yeah, I'm just really not sure. Need to do one more. At least I have coffee. Trying to think of the most exciting places in this world that I want to explore. Not necessarily like action-packed exciting, but the things I am most excited to show. The thing is, where the story starts isn't necessarily where I'm excited to explore, but it does establish the scene, if that makes sense. So I feel like I definitely should put those things into this world building. I mean, no, I know I should put those things into this world building right now, because if I don't, then I'm going to end up having just a bunch of stuff is this all duplicates? No, that's not all duplicates. Did I mess up just now? Rutrow. I did. Hold on, I just deleted a bunch of stuff that I really shouldn't have deleted. Shit. Okay, let's... Whoopsie. Why didn't these transfer? Probably because of duplicate file names, if I were guessing. Yeah. Okay. Restore. Let's try that again. Select all. Move. Six. Yeah. All right. Duplicate file names. Is there a way to mass rename? I don't think so. I'll have to figure that out later. All right. At least I undid my bad mistake. Okay. So, let's see. Establishing what I'm after interior wise. So it takes place in a dive bar called Nirvana number 9. So let's establish like an aerial perspective. So right there. I really need to push the perspective on that. I think I'm doing it wrong though. So how can I make this room bigger? This is how I can make this room bigger. Establish a back wall. Like so. That gives me a little more room. That would be 1 point perspective, not 2 point perspective. Damn it. Alright. I'm messing up my perspectives now. Alright, 2 point would just be, let's establish corner of the room, make it small. Sorry. It's a little bit bigger of a room. I'll take it. And then Lego floor. So we end up with bar.
Outside and take on the butter grass because I don't want them dying first.
Yeah, we had some quail die. Or a quail die. Alright.
Yeah. He's a bear. Also gone.
Something cool up above the bar. I don't know. I am not an interiors guy. Yet. I'm gonna have to learn. I mean, I really don't have a choice. I need to learn interiors. Especially if I'm gonna be telling a story. Just to give it some composition. We'll put like the corner, well, a table coming in around the corner there, maybe with a chair pushed into it. I don't know. It's a bar. Yeah, buddy. I did not bury your quail. He is back in his bed, and I will bury him whenever you're ready. You ready? All right. Well, I got my 5 little dinky environment sketches done. I really like 3 of the 5 that I did. The interiors are where I struggled the most. So I really need to work on figuring out interiors or learning Blender enough that interiors are easy because Blender. Exteriors I think are like way more fun. But yeah, I've made progress. So we did 5 little sketches of interior designs.
Aya told me that when they got the quail back there, they said that if they learn it, they will drown themselves.
I don't know, buddy. Okay, bud. I also did a 30-minute frame study of the Sandman. And we started off with a few gestures in pen. That was super challenging. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with today's progress. and I need to go help my son bury an animal because he is very sad. So everyone have a wonderful Tuesday. Have a good week. I'm gonna try and hop on more often. It's a very full week for me though, so I'm not sure that's gonna happen. I will do my best, but until next time that you see me, have a great one. Keep drawing, painting, writing, singing, dancing your hearts out, and we'll talk next time.